Why keep the torque lower than horsepower?
Yeah.
Well, for one, horsepower is derived from torque based upon engine speed. So you can't keep one lower than the other. Horsepower is just going to come from the amount of torque you make and within how much time. So that's where you get the engine speed. Why keep the torque low, I guess, at peak torque or kind of like plateaued, is because with RPM you can make more power at the same torque level. So say if you had 200 foot-pounds at 1,000 RPM and 200 foot-pounds at 10,000 RPM, you're making, however much quadruple amount of horsepower than you are at 1,000 RPM. So basically the idea behind that is that the piston at, lower RPM, 3, 4, 5,000 RPM, dwells at that torque, so it sees that amount of combustion pressure for a lot longer than it does at high RPM. You have a lot more cylinder fill just with, camshafts and stuff like that at these lower RPMs, so it makes that more torque, or turbo size, whatever. It makes that more torque in lower RPMs. I don't necessarily try to just make as much as I can down low, because it's strenuous. It's strenuous on the side of the cylinder walls, on top of the rod bearings, on wrist pins, rods, bottom side of main bearings. There's more pressure, a lot more pressure there. So if you maintain that pressure and do so over higher RPM, it's easier on the engine, and then you make more power doing so. I guess kind of a weird way to put it, but that's why. Most of the time these are stock motors, or these are old built motors, or older stock motors, or stuff like that. That's how they live at power levels more than double what the factory produces them at. It's not that I have control over horsepower. Well, yes, I have control over horsepower, yes. But it's not like I can make less torque and add horsepower. No. Horsepower is derived from torque, so it's not like they're two separate things. They're one thing. At lower RPM, like I said, 3, 4, pretty much 2,500 and 4,500 RPM. You don't want to make all these gobs of torque, because that's where the piston dwells the longest. It sees that pressure longer, just because it's lower RPM. And it's just, like I said, it's just harder on things. With more horsepower and more torque, stuff like that, you're taking the reliability. It's pretty much just wear and tear on it. I think RPM is much less wear and tear than a lot more torque down low. And then people be like, oh, well, diesels are, 2,800 RPM, make all this torque. Well, diesels have fucking huge motors and huge fucking pistons and huge rods. They're built a little bit different than a normal gas engine. I believe that RPM is easier on the motor